Afternoon. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. So today I want to talk to you about these items here. These items are already listed on my eBay store and also on some other sites, but they're causing me a lot of problems, and they're actually causing you problems as well. You have similar items in your eBay store or Mercari or Poshmark, whatever the case may be, and they are causing you some issues as well. And you first say, well, I don't do toys. I only do electronics or clothes or books. I don't do toys. It's not so much it is not so much the specific item that they are, it's what they represent, why they're giving you problems, and some strategies on what you can do if you're running into these particular issues. Thanks for watching this video. I'm Jocelyn. I call myself the PhD reseller because I have a PhD and I resell. And I like to look at things that are going on within my store and things that I know are also going on into your store, whether it's eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, Facebook, Walmart, Amazon. And I like to tell you about things that I'm doing in order to make more money, to make my life easier and hopefully make your life easier as well. And here is what I'm going to be talking about today. So you see this nice table. This is a table and it's full of toys. Now you might be thinking, I don't do toys, and actually I don't really do toys as well either. And it's not so much what the items are, whether or not they're toys or puzzles or anything of that nature, is what the items represent, which are duds. These are duds. They have been, and you might call it something different, but these are items that some of these I have been trying to sell since 2019, and it's 2021. And I am sick of walking by this table and looking at them and realizing that, you know what? I got some stuff here that just isn't selling. Now, I'm not going to go into the reason why I think these items aren't selling. I'm just going to go into the reason why it's bad for your business and some strategies that I'm doing in order to get these duds out the door, and how one of them actually even worked within 15 minutes of doing those. So if you like this sort of content, I would like it if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, tell me about some duds. Do you have a different word for it? Some people say long tail, and that's not really long tail items. Some things like vintage are going to take a little bit longer. Antiques, very unique items, signed, a toy that's signed or something will take a little bit longer to sell. But I'm talking about some run-of-the-mill games, puzzles, Funko Pops, Funkos, things of that nature that just aren't selling. Now, the first part is, why is it a problem? Well, one of the things that I decided to do this year is to source less and to get the things that I have listed sold. And I will tell you, it is, out of all the things that I have to do on a daily basis, a weekly, monthly, it is the worst part of it. I like the going out and sourcing. Here's my guest, Georgiana. I like the going out and sourcing. I even like shipping. If I could source, ship, and then somebody else do all the rest, then I would be a happy camper. But that's not what I do. I have to do it all. And most of you, and not most of you, but many of you are doing it all. And as I'm trying to figure out how to better get this stuff moved, it is taking a lot of time. And I realize that the more time I spend trying to get these things sold, the less time I can spend on getting better. Baby. No. The better I can get the items that are going to sell to be sold, because this takes up space. Look at all of this. This could be spent on storing other items that are selling a lot faster. And I know you could say, well, you can just put it in a container and stuff and things of that nature, but I really just want them gone. I mean, they're not doing me any good taking up space in my house. So that's the biggest reason. And you may have this in your store as well, whether or not it's clothes or shoes or anything of that nature. Now, the question you may ask is, when do you consider something a dud? That's going to be up to you. It might be, some people say it's 90 days. Some people say they don't sell in three months. I'm going to say a year, and I'm actually going to start doing this every spring because I figure by this time, maybe do it 3-4 times a year. And if it's longer than it has been listed for a year, maybe at the start of each season, we've just started spring, maybe I'll do it again in summer, fall, and winter. That sounds like a pretty good idea, actually. So maybe 4 times a year, go through some items and see, is there things that aren't selling that I need to go through and figure out how I can get those sold a little bit better. And so what are the things that I've already done to try to get them sold? Now, I'm not going to go into much of the details on things, but I have done the basic stuff. I have checked out the listings. I have added in keywords, changed the title, changed the description, made sure I had a white background, added in more details, took some different pictures, and it just is not working. So I've done all that stuff. And like I said, the more that I do all this, it's very tedious because you're oftentimes just looking for little details to add. Like maybe I didn't put in how tall the doll was. Now I got to go back, pull it out, get my measuring tape, and try to figure out and add in that information. Now, what I did find is, as I'm doing these revisions, I am getting better at adding in as much information as I can in the listings. So I feel like my newer listings are better. So in a sense, it's a bit of a pain, but it has been a great learning curve. Now, the second thing that I've done is I have cross-posted. So, and I realized, the first thing I realized this morning was a lot of the items I did not have cross-posted. So all of these items are on eBay. I went ahead and cross-posted on Mercari, Facebook, Marketplace, Walmart, Poshmark. I know people are like, Poshmark toys. Poshmark has a lot of things, and it doesn't have to be about toys, because this isn't so much about whether or not you're trying to sell off toys. This is trying to sell off dead inventory that you have in your store. And what you're going to be doing is just look, where else can I post it at? If you're just on eBay, can you start a Poshmark store? A Poshmark closet, I guess that's what they call it. Can you, if you are selling books and they're kind of duds and they're not moving, can you list them on Amazon? Amazon is pretty open with books. They're not really particularly gated. So those are the things I'm talking about, is cross-posting, cross-listing. And I realized a lot of them hadn't cross-posted. Now, I use 2 sites to cross-post. Unfortunately, none of them give me everything I need. I use Sellbrite in order to cross-post from eBay to Walmart and to Amazon. And I also use Vendoo in order to do eBay to Poshmark. Oh, and Sellbrite also does Etsy. To also do Mercari, Facebook. They also have Etsy, Poshmark. And then they have some other ones like the Depop and things of those other little smaller ones that are coming out. So I realized I hadn't cross-posted some of those. So that was the second thing I did. I made sure that everything was on a second location. The third thing that I did was I made a kind of a complicated spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet really consisted of a few items. One was, how much did it actually cost me for this particular item? Some of these items I didn't have to pay anything for, like these rummy cards. I figured this was given to me as a gift. I don't have a need for them. And so this price of this is $0. So anything I make off of it after I pay for the fees will actually be profit. So that was the first column. The second column I did was I pulled every single one, and I did make sure I added in, some of them didn't have the UPC code, so I did add that in as well. If anybody had a UPC code, just so if any of the sites, especially eBay, gets pulled up, then I can go ahead and it'll be pulled up when people go to search for that particular item to match it up. So the second thing that I did was I pulled each one and got out my scale just to double check the shipping on them, because I do offer free shipping, and I know some people don't offer free shipping and some people do, and that's perfectly fine. But oftentimes I'm doing this based off of a pretty good guess. I've been doing this for a while, so I can pretty much guess what's going to go under like 4 ounces versus like 4 to 10 versus the 10 to 16, and what's going to be priority. And then anything that's super heavy that I know I can't fit into a priority flat rate box or envelope, that I need to look at the distance, the furthest distance, which is to California from where I live. And then from that, I said, okay, that's what I need. That is the minimum price I need, sort of. One more, the fees. So I added in how much was the item, how much is it to ship, and then, yes. And then I added those two together just to say, hey, if you broke even, if it was $0, and let's say this is $3.50, it was $3.50. And then what I did was I added in a 15% fee. I know that Facebook is different, Mercari, everybody's different, Poshmark is different. I do my strategies with pricing for Poshmark a little bit differently, so that's a little bit different. But however your strategy is for pricing your item, and I said, okay, that is the amount of money that the lowest price I'm going to go. And then what I did was, because I have an eBay store, I said, what would be a reasonable amount of money or a discount that people would probably be attracted to? And I said 45%. So I added in 45% onto that price. Now, some of them were right on point. If I just dumped it 45%, I would actually make whatever my money back on. Some of them I did have to raise the price a little bit. But then again, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't make the mistake, which I've done plenty of times, which is selling something, putting it on sale, and not covering the cost of the item, the shipping, and the fees. So I'm trying to do that. The next column that I put on has to do with what's going to come after if these don't sell through this particular method, which is to put it locally on Facebook Marketplace. What I'll do is I'm going to take just a picture of whatever is left, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm not sure what day it is. Just take a picture, and then on the picture, I'm going to start just adding in tags for the pricing for items, because I have put them in the description, but I find people don't really like that very much. It doesn't draw as much attention as if you just put the price on the actual items. And I've seen people just put a little post-it note and say this is the price of something. But I figured, I could be fancy and actually, change up the image and actually add the pricing on there. From there, then I'm going to start donating them. So I'm going to start getting rid of them. The first thing that I would do, so it would be that start pulling items that you think that you might want to keep, items that you would maybe gift to somebody else, of a loved one or a friend or family, whether it's a birthday or Christmas or other holidays that you have coming up, that you could actually gift to somebody else that you have. Now, if you decide to pull it, and that's what you decide to do, so I want to pull this, if it doesn't sell by X amount of time, then you need to pull it and move it away. Don't just have it sit in your store, because that's still going to give you a headache. So I actually don't have anybody that I think would want any of these things. So these are all going to be donated. So then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to post it on my local Facebook Marketplace, maybe even next door, and say, if anybody wants this, you can have it. And I know people say, well, gosh, why don't you just do that already? You've already done a lot of work. But here's the deal. There is something, and I don't know, right? No one really knows how any of these algorithms work. We just make a really good, trying to make the best educated guess. But I do believe that sales velocity does matter. The fact that people are going to the listing and people are buying things, I have noticed that it's like a snowball. Once you get one sale, here comes another one, here comes another one. So I believe in the sales velocity. And also, I'm trying to get the rated seller thing on eBay. And I've had a couple of defects, and therefore I need more items sold. I have no defects on them. And it really had to do with the post office. And because I wasn't scanning my packages. And the post office loves to not scan the packages until oftentimes they show up at their final destination. So I've actually been going through the post office and scanning every package, which is taking up a lot of time. But I'm losing out on that top rated seller thing. So what I'm going to do is just leave them out there and say, hey, if anybody wants them, let me know. I can, leave it out on the porch and just let me know, which items do you want, and I'll just leave them out there for you. And that might be Sunday, just the last who-all to try to get it out the door. Come Monday, so this is Tuesday, come Monday, I'm giving it about a week, so 6 days, about a week. I'm giving it 6 days. When I'm done with my shipment on Monday, whatever I have not sold is going to be donated somewhere else. Shelter, Goodwill, a thrift store, whatever the case may be. I could probably even try to thrift, but I don't want to be bothered with the kind of thrift store things where consignment, and that's your whole deal, but I just don't have time for all of that stuff. I have identified like a women's children's shelter that I think they would enjoy some toys and stuff, but that could be anything that you want to think of as well. So hopefully this gives you some ideas on what to do with the duds. By Monday in a week, this will be cleared. I'm not holding on to this. I have made the choice and decision that I'm clearing this stuff out. I'm not holding on to this. This is good leaving this week because I have other things that you can see. This is like a big table, lots of space that I could have the other items on. So if you like this information, I would be happy if you would subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications so anytime I come up with a video that you get that. And tell me what you do with your duds. Or do you have a system? Are you now realizing that you're doing the same thing? Oh, I did want to mention one last thing. The one thing I am not doing anymore, which is the end listing and relisting. And I understand the reason why people do it, but I found that I couldn't figure out how long this stuff lasted. The oldest item that I have currently in my eBay store is September. One of these I've been trying to sell since 2019. If I just think of, it's been around since September, even though I sort of know, it doesn't give me that time to say, I need to look at my inventory and really see what's going on. And to also make sure that, I don't buy stuff like this anymore. I don't buy puzzles. Puzzles was really hot last year. They're not anymore. And if I don't see and understand that, you know what, I had to give away 4 or 5 puzzles because nobody was buying them, then that makes me realize that, Jocelyn, don't buy puzzles anymore. But if we don't do that internal viewing of stuff, we'll just keep buying the same old stuff and then complain that we're not getting any sales. All right, so that was the last thing I wanted to say. Again, if you like this, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time, and good luck. Oh, one last thing. I keep saying one last thing. So the pricing, I did say one actually worked. I forgot to tell you about which one actually worked. So I have these books that I had found that someone had given it to me, and it originally came in this set which had a toy, and I tried to pull the book out because it has an ISBN number, and none of the books were selling. So none of the books were even being pulled up on Amazon. I did the exact thing, figured out how much it was, which was $0, so I didn't worry about it. Basically all I was needing to cover was the shipping and the fees, and it sold on Facebook. So, and then 15 minutes after I did that. So honestly, I believe this method will work. Whether or not I sell 1 thing or 2 things or 5 things, that's perfectly fine with me. I will just be happy when it goes out the door. All right. I had this written down and I made some little mistakes, but that's what happens. All right. Take care. Happy spring, y'all. Bye.